All right, all right. Charlie Burris, former Vols quarterback Jonathan Crompton. This is the Big Orange game, the Big Orange Game Day post-game reaction show. We're going to talk about everything that we just watched. I just realized that I didn't put the graphic up for the end of the game. I'll put it together really quick and throw the correct graphic up. I'm not actually talking to Zach Reagan, as the graphic says. Again, former Vols quarterback Jonathan Crompton. But we'll get it right here in just a second when I can fix it. But otherwise, we got to tell you about our great sponsor, Lipscomb University Sports Analytics Grad Program and Window Nation. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Make no payments for 2 years, and we'll tell you all about them in just a minute. But Cromp, 56-24. Tennessee didn't cover, at least unless they score here in the next, 10 seconds or whatever is left in this game, 20 seconds. But other than that, pretty much just and they might. Look at that. Got converted a massive pass down to like the 10-yard line. They might. This is actually good that I didn't make the graphic potentially. Yeah. What did you think about that second half? And I'll see if I can get the graphic complete and correct here.
I mean, kind of what we expect. Just make sure, obviously better. I really wish we wouldn't have given up 364 passing yards, though.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I know sorry, we almost scored. Really,
all right, that is
I'm trying to think how to say it properly. I'm trying to think where it's not that we played poorly, because we didn't. That's a lot of passing UAB.
That's a lot. I agree.
I'll say it that way. That's a lot of passing yards given to UAB. Now, granted, they threw it so they threw the ever-living piss out of it. You know what I mean? That's only 7 yards an attempt. But still, you see that number and it's staggering and you go, dang. If UAB can throw for 350 on us, who else can? That's all. I mean, and I'm not looking at the negatives, I promise. It's just that's what stands out to me. Just, we sure some things up there. Now, obviously, I know we got a couple guys down. We sure that up. We're beat in a lot of ways. But we got some teams coming up they got some athletes that can throw the football.
I mean, you look at Mississippi State right now, that's a formidable offense. You're not going to go out there and just, stop them with nothing.
Yeah.
That's not going to cut it. If UAB can go for 300 on you, I got to assume Mississippi State can go for 4+. So,
and I'm not trying to make it out. I'm not trying to make it bigger than it needs to be, because, excuse me, UAB is not a bad team. UAB is not, it's not, what was it, East Texas A&M or something like that Florida State played, right? It's not like they're slouches. They've got a kitten playing quarterback. Everybody knows that last name. You know what I mean? They've got players. I don't like giving up 350 in the pass game. That's all. It has nothing to do with that. Now, granted, they only ran for 23. So, I'll take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you take
kind of given there. Once again, it's not that I'll bring that up and say, oh, let's focus on or bash the defense or anything like that. That's not the case. The first comment, it said, I'm right in the 6 minutes into the third quarter. Booed. He doesn't seem like he really gives a crap to be there. Am I wrong in agreeing with that comment? And so I think because that plays into it too. you've got to have your players ready. All those things. I just, a little more shored up in a couple areas. We're going to be really good.
I mean, when it comes to Boot Carter, I guess I would say I've had that feeling from the beginning of the season. The kid's electric with the football in his hands, and that's great.
Yeah.
But you look at what you're seeing from him and the attitude that he approached preseason with. They got him into that hot water. And then you look at some of the stuff that his mom's been saying on social media, and you get that feeling that, he might be 1 foot out the door. He definitely might be, and that would be unfortunate. But I don't know. I'm not going to cast aspersions. I'm not seeing what he's saying behind the scenes. He may just that may just be the player that he is. I mean, some guys just aren't locked in, even though they have uber amounts of talent. So, I don't necessarily want to dwell on that too much, but I'll say in a general sense, like Tyler says right here, you're not making it bigger than it is. The defense, especially the secondary, is suspect. I'm not sure the defense as a whole is suspect, or maybe you would say that the defense in general might be suspect, but there are really good pieces on that defense. Is how I would say it. I mean, you do have Colton Hood. Hopefully, you'll have Jermon McCoy back here before too long. You will. Josh Josephs is a solid player. Jackson Moy, if you can get him back. I mean, there are dudes on this defense, but it's Aaron Carter, a guy that plays with a lot of pride. But I generally agree. I look at Mississippi State, and that's going to be the main thrust of what we talked about here, I think. Yeah. I look at that game on the horizon, and I kind of cringe and go, I mean, you're going to send these boys out to go play against basically Josh Heupel's own offense at Mississippi State. They got a formidable quarterback there, not Julian Sand. What's the kid's name? I'll look at it in just a second. But they got a fine team that beat Arizona State 2 weeks ago. Like, don't fall asleep at the wheel here. And I guess I just gotta hope 24 points and 300 yards passing against UAB given up is just a function of it was UAB. That's got to be the hope. Is that you snooze through it. Yeah, David says Blake.
I would genuinely agree with that. No, I would agree with that by going. It's UAB, once again, not sliding on UAB. UAB not as talented as we are. And they shouldn't be. Just be honest. If they're doing something really, really well or oh crap for us. But yeah, it's just the bottom line is we need to make sure that you can say that every week that we need to shore things up and be better because that's the quote unquote championship mindset. You know what I mean? It's never as bad as it seems when you watch the tape. Once again, you have a good team. They played well today. Put up some statistics, but in reality, they got beat by 32 points. A 32-point victory, never complained with.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you won the way that you needed to win, regardless of the final numbers. Yeah. I would say this, something to bring up. That second string offense, specifically with Jake Merklinger leading it, leaves a lot to be desired. And I don't say this in a mean way towards Jake Merklinger, but George McIntyre should be number 2. What are we doing here? Why are we dancing around this situation like this? I mean, you do need Merklinger for depth reasons this season, but you look at the reality on the ground there, and it kind of seems like he's number 2 because he's just been around longer. And as I said, I don't say that in a mean way. I say it because I think it's just the reality of the situation. I think that's what's happening there. I think they're leaving him in number 2 so that he doesn't already hop in the transfer portal. And that's tough. Because it is hard for me to imagine that they would throw if Joey Aguilar goes down. God forbid that happens. It's hard for me to imagine that's the kid they play, right? Right? McIntyre has the ceiling so much higher.
All right, let's. I'm trying to think how to say this where it makes sense in my head as well. We and I've said this a couple years ago. Heupel's right, and I say that meaning because it was when everybody said, "Oh, we should be playing Nico." Nico was afraid. Why are we playing Joe? Why are we playing Joe? We should be playing Nico. Keep going, guys. These right. There's obviously something there that he has seen in Merklinger that he likes better than McIntyre at the moment. Now, I've also said, and I'm pretty sure I told you this, Charlie, but I told Austin this offseason, I think McIntyre's ceiling is way higher. Yeah. I do. Now, have I seen him play in the live bullets, blah, blah, blah? No, because he hasn't played like that. But you just look at him and you kind of see what you see. You see how he throws the ball and all those things. You go, okay, for me, I'm like, I think he's got a bigger upside down the road. There's something there that Heupel sees that. So, yes, God forbid, knock on Joey goes down, it will be Jake. Today proved that. Otherwise, it would have been McIntyre. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just that's Heupel's deal. I respect it. I respect that as a coach. That, he obviously has won number 2 position in practice and with whatever they're doing and however they grade it. And there would be limitations to the offense because he is a young player. It's just what it is. So obviously we don't want Joey to go down. We don't. But it God forbid, knock on whatever you want to knock on, play that like this. I love when we're able to get up early where we can play guys and get them game experience. Because then that's it. That's is like actually throwing them in a game and going. Obviously, you can't simulate a game in practice. It's never the same. It's just not. So that's why I'm on at half. And again, let's get the starters out at half and let's each other quarterback a quarter and let them play.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to have those times where these guys play. And the way that Tennessee did that today, you got to buy enough, took the starters out. The second string got to play plenty. It's just tough to see that the second string is giving you essentially nothing. At least quarterback play-wise, you definitely – depth pieces at some of the skill positions, I think you have. I mean, obviously, Peyton Lewis, I think, is an exciting player. Travis Smith is an exciting player. He's hurt, but Darius Jackson is an exciting wideout. Some of the spots on the offensive line, I think, are serviceable under the starters, although I say that offensive line was kind of getting bullied a little bit at times, the number 2 offensive line. So I think some of those individual guys, if they had to go in, I think could be serviceable. But as a whole, it was not very good.
Yes. Well, there's an old cliche or an old outlet from about early football backups. Because it is such a physical sport. Look at our defense right now. We're playing a couple second-string guys. We have to. Only as good as your backups because you're never going to go through a season with somebody not getting banged up. As I say that, whose quarterback just got banged up on as we speak. You're only as good as your number 2s at every position.
Yep.
Your 2s have to be everybody else's starters. Because it doesn't happen overnight at every position. We have gotten so much better at having depth than we used to in every. We're getting better at it because we are. It's getting better. It's getting better. The world is so hard to keep everywhere else because of NIL and because of the rules. So it is. But yeah, I mean, I think our biggest issue is we need a number 2 quarterback that happens. We still got faith in everything that you can do. The system does not change. But I think, I think may have popped his Achilles. Sorry.
That sucks.
Which, yeah, I mean, but sorry, I wasn't trying to change the subject. But that proves the point of your only, they've got a 13-point lead with 2:40 to go in the third quarter. Are you playing some momentum? Who knows? We don't want that to happen to us at Mississippi State or playing Arkansas, because that does happen.
It happened against Mississippi State last year.
Injuries are part of the game.
Yeah, don't forget Gaston Moore played the entire second half of the Mississippi State game last year. Thankfully, Mississippi State stunk out loud a year ago. But Nico went out with a concussion or whatever happened, and yeah, I mean those things can happen. It's not out of the realm of possibility. But let's start here, or really start here. I mean, we're almost 20 minutes into the show. But let's go to our first segment of the post game, and that, of course, is the one word for how you are feeling. We've got a few people in here watching us. It's always light when we're talking about the snoozer games, light crowd, but that's okay. One word for how you're feeling after Tennessee 56, UAB 24. If you're watching and you want to join into the show, go over to the comments and drop in the one word, just one single word for how you're feeling after a 56-24 win for Tennessee over UAB. Mississippi State on the horizon. Crompton and I will give our one word, and we'll talk about all of it right after I tell you about the good folks. Protect your home ahead of the fall and winter weather. Get replacement windows from Window Nation. Top quality, energy efficient windows from a trusted company, all at a reasonable price. Window Nation offers a lifetime warranty on all of their windows, so you can relax knowing your home is protected far into the future. And save big this month when you buy 2 windows and you can get 2 free. Make no payments for 2 years. You won't have to deal with monthly payments, a down payment, or interest until 2027. But you got to hurry because the sale ends September 30th. That's only 10 more days, so don't miss out. This is Window Nation's most popular offer. Schedule a fast free estimate right now with the pros at Window Nation. 866-90-NATION is the phone number, or windownation.com. Again, one word for how you're feeling after Tennessee's win over UAB. Darren stoked, Eric content, Chris expected, Kenny cautious, David relieved, and he specifies because there were no injuries. I agree, David. I'll throw it to you, Crump. Your one word for how you're feeling right now.
It's a word, but it's a number.
Okay.
The word will be spelled 40. It was Heupel's 40th win on Rocky Top.
Wow.
So I thought that was kind of cool today, because we all know it's hard to win. It's hard to win as an SEC coach. It's, all those things. And what are we, 4 games into year 5? So it's a pretty good track record. I'm glad he's our coach. I'll say it that way. I really am. I think the players love him. Obviously, the fans love him. They gave him a new contract. Because of the way he coaches, I'll be the guy to say it. I would love it if we would do what we did to Coach Barnes. Lifetime contract, this guy.
Lifetime contract. That is a different mentality from me.
It's fine. Because who the hell is you going to go get that can change a program like that from the gutter that we were in to where we're at. Truthfully.
I do love. I mean, 40 wins, and it's been an incredible run. Hey, this man has done things that you haven't done in decades, and brought this program back from the dead ditch that it was in. I do have a sort of opposite mentality to that, though. I'm sort of like a keep the buyout small, keep your guy on his P's and Q's, because you notice in some of these coaches, when they start getting that super fat paycheck, it's sort of like sometimes you see in the NFL, guys get to that third contract and they make a giant amount of money, and the production can fall off because they sort of, they get complacent. You see that sometimes in these coaches. Well, I mean, you saw it.
But
like
that's called not being a true competitor.
That's true. I mean, the prime example to me to what you're talking about is like a Coach Calipari or John Calipari at Kentucky. He sat back on his laurels and said, "I'm here to just get guys to the NBA, and I'm making $10 million a year. Congratulations to me." And the thing fell off a cliff. So you do have to be careful there. But I do agree.
But it's also
Heupel's awesome.
I'm trying to think how to say, because I mean, what other coach, truthfully, in the country, as a head coach, whether you call plays or not, I'm trying to think how to word it, is on the level of Heupel, and I'm not being a homer when I say this. Dabo's on a sinking ship at Clemson.
Yep.
Just be real. Lincoln Riley proved that Oklahoma made Lincoln Riley, not Lincoln Riley making Oklahoma.
That's a good point.
Right? I mean, let's just call that like it is. Like, so you see what I'm like? Alabama's starting to realize that Nick Saban made Alabama. Alabama didn't make Nick Saban.
Yep.
Like I can keep going on and on. Not many coaches can go in and instantly change a program and a mindset. Heupel's proven to do that at multiple places. Another person that's done that, and sorry, but has been Lane Kiffin.
Sure.
FAU and Ole Miss. I'm just talking about FAU and Ole Miss, right? Going in and quickly because they're relatable. They understand how to recruit in today's world, but also, quote unquote, stand on business and go, nobody's bigger than the program. Nobody's bigger than the T. Nobody's bigger than whatever we're wanting to do. We also have our morals. So that's why I say that. And somebody was blasting me saying, well, 40 is not a feeling. Well, yeah, actually it is, because when everybody says your 40th birthday, right, it's a milestone. 40th win is a milestone. So it's a great feeling to be there, and especially to do it at home in front of home fans, in a game that you go, we knew we should do it in a 30-point fashion. It's great. So I'm ecstatic with where we're at the program. I love what he's been building. I know where we can go in the future. I really do, or at least I think I do. Now it's just continuing to try to grow and get better every week. And if you've seen that, we've consistently done that when we have the right people in place under Heupel. And I'm saying, like, as far as players and positions.
I love the guy, and everything that I said a second ago, in no way do I say that to say that I'm skeptical of Heupel or I want to put him near the hot seat or anything like that. It's purely you do just see, I think, a great example right now in college football is like a Mike Gundy. Like, he just got too comfortable. But as far as Heupel goes, I mean, the guy's an absolute miracle worker. What he's done here is truly just fantastic.
You're just thinking of it from the business standpoint, which is also logical.
Yeah, do I know if he's going to be the guy that will bring a national championship back to Tennessee in football? I don't know. I need to see him recruit at a more elite level. But other than that, his ability to, for one thing, get his teams to play above their talent level, and then also his ability to just resurrect this entire thing and keep it going now for a number of years. Like that's at the moment, there's such a small selection of guys in college football that could do that. To your point, to what you're saying, it's incredibly valuable. It has to be Heupel. It has to be a Lane Kiffin. Otherwise, it's so hard to pull a program out of the dumpster like that. It seriously is. But
Yeah.
I don't mean to dwell on this because I haven't even given my own word. I think my word now is locked, and that is to say, my feeling is that from here going forward, outside of maybe the New Mexico State game, you got to be locked in. There cannot be laxity in play. Yeah. It has to be, because you have an opportunity here with how good this offense is. You have an opportunity here to get to a 10-2, 11-1 type of season. And so get your head screwed on straight. Go beat Mississippi State. Go beat Arkansas. Arkansas lost to Memphis today. You have no excuse. Mississippi State is losing to NIU right now. You have no excuse. You can go to Tuscaloosa. You can beat Alabama. Alabama's getting their butt kissed again because they went and beat an absolute trash Wisconsin team that lost to Maryland today. Lock in, make sure you are at the height of your abilities. Get Jermon McCoy back, get Jackson Moy back, get David Hobbs back, and your health together. And it's time to do this thing. I think you have a real opportunity here. You found – I texted this to a friend of mine during that game, actually. It feels like Joey Aguilar is the Dalton Connect for football. You bring him in out of nowhere. Nobody's ever even heard of this guy. And he's magically made your team so much better. And what a privilege it is to have a guy like that. And you got to capitalize. You have to. And that starts right now. And it starts with the Mississippi State game that I think we need to move on and talk about.
Yep. No, I agree. 100%.
And on that note, let's get to it. And we'll start with this. Let's dive into some of the stats that you saw today, and we'll do that thanks to our friends over at Lipscomb University and their sports analytics program. We'll dive into the analytics, talk about what it means going forward for this Mississippi State game. But first, analyze, strategize, and revolutionize with the Lipscomb Sports Analytics program. Turn your passion into a profession. Get off the sidelines and into the action where you'll learn how to make the calls that count with Lipscomb University's Sports Analytics program. You can turn sports fans into data-driven decision makers in the exciting world of professional athletics. We're not just watching the game, we're changing how it's played through the innovative sports analytics online program. Go to lipscomb.edu to learn more. Check it out. And in this game, some of the stuff that we talked about at halftime was that it was really beautiful how that you sort of spread the wealth around. Everybody got theirs today. That second half, on the other hand, I don't even want to dwell on the second half. I don't think it's we've hashed that out now. But you saw some things like Peyton Lewis, 81 yards on the ground. That's great. Didn't see much from Jake Merklinger, but Chris Brazel, 62 yards, 5 receptions. Mike Matthews, 53 yards, 3 receptions. And then you go down. Star Thomas had a nice game. And you're cooking right now. Like, things are going well. You were able to keep your health through that game. And the defense, I want to see how many, at least as of right now, 9 tackles for loss in that game, 3 sacks. I don't know if that's the official final numbers. That's just what ESPN has listed. Things are going well. Mississippi State is on the horizon. They beat Arizona State, as I said, currently losing to NIU, but that doesn't mean they're going to lose that game. It's only the first quarter.
Yeah.
Seeing what we've seen so far, obviously you very nearly beat Georgia last week. Crump, how are you feeling about this Mississippi State game next week?
I mean, I do think, to be honest with you, I we have the coach that can let them know, like, hey, it's our trap game. We got to play on the road. There's going to be a pistol to cowbells. It's going to be it's going to be a good crowd because they're playing well this season. They've programmed around all that stuff. That's going to be the whole talk. Blah 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 blah. Go play Tennessee volunteer football. Play fast like we always play, and take care of business. That's the mindset going into it. We are the better team, right? Like last week, it wasn't that we were the better team. We had to go play normal football and play well and all. Like we're the better team next week, 100%. And the reason why you can't, like last week, couldn't be like, oh, we're the better team. Well, Georgia's number 3, 4, or 5 in the country, right? Well, Mississippi State is Mississippi State is Mississippi State. You got to go out there, prove a point early, make the team that makes the fewest mistakes will win, all right? And go out there and we need to get turnovers early and play fast and everything will be all right. That one, I'm not overly concerned about it from the fan perspective. I'm not, because I do think that Coach Heupel prepared and ready to go in that sense. I would love to keep our first quarter. Gosh almighty, we're just rolling in the first quarter, up breathing and giving ourselves breathing room week in and week. So that would be my thing is if we come out in the first quarter and see what we've been seeing the past couple of weeks, we'll be fine.
It's going to be imperative that you start fast to me, and that could almost be the game. And thankfully, you've done that in every game so far, as you're saying, because you'll quiet that crowd down, kind of get them out of it, and then you can operate from there. That's so key. I mean, that was one of the big pieces in winning that Oklahoma game last year. Obviously, extremely hostile environment, tough place to win, even though Oklahoma wasn't a great team last year. But you quieted them down. Kind of from the beginning in that one, and you were able to control the game. And that's, to me, that's probably the biggest key. It was the biggest key against Georgia, and Georgia's obviously a much better team than Mississippi State. But that's how you almost beat them, is that you crushed them immediately and got them on their heels and made them have to recover and get their ish back together. And Mississippi State is not going to recover like Georgia did. And so, punch them in the mouth right out of the gate, and you'll be good. Now, you gotta see good play next week from the defensive backs, and I mean, some of the things that I think about is, does Boo Carter, as long as his head is truly in the game, and it's not what we were talking about earlier, where maybe he's kind of phoning it in because his head's somewhere else. I hope that's not the case. But, you need great play out of a guy like that. You need Andre Turrentine, who had a horrible game against Georgia. You need him to have a great game. Obviously, Colton Hood needs to step it up. Hopefully, Ty Redmond learned something from that Georgia game after he got absolutely shredded. Because against Mississippi State, it's going to be just as important that those guys have a good game as it was against Georgia. And get up early on offense, clamp down on defense, especially in the defensive backfield if you can, and kind of go from there, right?
I think we can. I think this comment from Darren Weaver is 100% spot on early. They've got the cowbells and they're annoying as hell. You take like a team like Mississippi State thrives off of their ability to let their crowd help affect the game. All right. Well, we go out there early and put it to them and get a lead early, get a turn momentum on our side and take the crowd out of it early. We can now deflate their whole balloon, all their air, whatever you want to call it, for them to have a chance to come back. I'm not saying this is smart because I'm going to say this as the fan, not the. I'm going to take the ball and try to quickly. Like I would obviously all of it, blah blah. I would have the ball. Cool, we got a touchback. I know we're starting. We're going to take a shot. I would do it on the road against Mississippi State to try to get the momentum with them very quickly. Now, from the analytics standpoint, win the ball, but I want the high risk, high reward mindset as well, because I want to take that crowd out of it and show that I am the better team and that we're not on the same playing field.
I want to know your opinion on this. Tyler Ross's question says, are the defensive problems a personnel issue, a Tim Banks / scheme problem, or some of both? And obviously that could come in big in this Mississippi State game with Mississippi State's offense. I mean, what do you think there?
I'll be honest with you. I don't I'm trying to think.
I think a big piece of scheme,
and this is where it can be skewed. They can be skewed. So I'll always obviously read the numbers at the end of the game as part of my how I'm feeling of like, oh, we were 72% completion percentage or whatnot. That 72% can be skewed because of how many screens or bubbles that we're throwing, right? I'm saying that to say at the end of the year, we're always statistically up there on the defensive side of the ball. All right. But that takes into games like a UAB or ETSU or UTC or, a Virginia or whoever we're playing. Games get counted into the total year stats when it comes to defense. Well, if you got a game that you're playing an FCS team and but we only end the year with 15, or that's what I was trying to go last year. He only had 9 touchdowns in conference play. So I guess what I'm getting is I don't really know, because you always look at it and you go, most we're always up there on the defense ball at the end of the year. So then you got to go back and try to break down which games that matter. Every game matters, but like conference play matters the most. Which ones, or did we not statistically have the right games? It always seems like I want a Brent Venable style D coordinator. I do. Those obviously are few and far between. But I want a D coordinator that if they ever left, that everybody was like, well, that was the glue that held this whole thing together against Clemson. When he left, they were not Clemson. That's what I want. I'm not saying Tim Banks' scheme is not good. I just don't think that – I don't think we have the players to run his scheme. So I think it's a mixture of both. We said it last week. If you're going to blitz, and I love pressure, I love blitzing, we don't have the players that can play man behind it.
Right.
We just don't. We can zone blitz really well, but not many people have the dudes that can run man blitzes behind it. Does that make sense? Man blitz schemes are tough.
You were playing man on that fourth down where obviously it took a magical throw from Georgia's quarterback on that fourth down throw. If he doesn't drop it right in the breadbasket beautifully, it's incomplete. You win the game. But still, what are you doing playing man in that scenario? Like, to me, a chunk of it last week was scheme. I haven't, like a lot last season, I didn't think Tim Banks got out-schemed a lot. But
no,
last week when it really came down to brass tacks, I think there were moments where he did. And I agree. I'm not sure that I feel like, oh man, if we lost Tim Banks, it would be the end of the world. I hate to say that because he's done a good job, but
he's done a good job. But I do think, now I'll say this, I think he's going to be up for a head job sometime soon.
Probably.
Right? Now, it may be a South Florida when Golish gets the Virginia Tech job or something like that, which is fine, because at that point I would love to see us go after, a Jim Knowles type. and go out there and get a name that everybody goes, oh, bleep. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. That would be what I would really want for our program. You want people to fear playing our defense like they fear playing Ohio State's defense.
And at least on the defensive side of the ball, on the offensive side of the ball, Heupel hires his friends, period. He hires his friends. That's the only thing he hires. And you look at our offense, and that works, and fine.
But watch this. But what here's in defense of that. No, in defense of that, who's running the offense? Him. So you hire guys you trust that will do what you ask to do and teach what you need. So there is no, because trust me, trust me when I say this. There's a lot more behind the scenes backstabbing. I want this job. If you stick with me, we can do this to get this guy out of here. Blah blah blah. So I 100% agree with, if I'm the head coach and OC, I'm hiring people that I trust that are going to be with me to make sure that we're preaching the same things. So I agree with that. I do, because I've been on the staffs that have been that way. It is not good.
That's interesting. That's definitely interesting. But if Banks does finally take a big job this season, it will be interesting to see how that gets filled, because like Eric says, I will just always lean towards hiring from within. That's just his deal. I don't know what he'd do, but he didn't, Banks was not exactly a friend hire. He came from Penn State. He was a co-offensive or defensive coordinator at Penn State. So he could go somewhere else in that case. Defense is a little bit different. Offense, from within, it's his pals only, but defense might be different. I don't know. But good point. Good points on your part, though. Stuff that you wouldn't think about unless you were a football coach, as you are.
It's just a lot of random stuff. I'll say it that way.
Yeah. I'm sure it's super political. I'm sure it's incredibly political.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Very.
I have no doubt. Having worked in sports media was incredibly political, and that's low stakes nonsense compared to football coaches. So
and I know everywhere has their pros and cons. That's why I don't blame him from hiring his buddies, his guys, because, hey, here's what we're going to teach. Teach it. Here's how I teach it. Here's how I need you to teach it. Go do it. And you can trust them. It's all about trust. That's why.
That's really interesting. That might have to be the clip that we pull out of this one for this week. I like that. I'll end with this prompt before we head out. Score prediction for the Mississippi State game, or if you don't want to give a straight up prediction, is Tennessee winning in Starkville next week?
Well, obviously, yes, we're winning. I will go. Let's see. I'm going to say a 35-20 game.
I like that. Yeah.
I think that's a good, obviously 1 point win. Who cares? A win's a win. But we want to make a statement for January, December, right? All that whole time frame. We need to have a double-digit win, right? To go, yep, all right. Their loss was a overtime 3-point game to Georgia, who's also now going to be in the playoff. They beat the hell out of the teams they're supposed to. Blah blah blah. Like that. That's a win. Is a win. Is a win. But a game like this, we need a double-digit.
Yes, I agree. You got to have a little bit of style points in this one because it's an SEC win, and it's an SEC win where you could potentially run it up a little bit.
And on the road, so that would definitely help. And it would look even better for double digit after then beating Arizona State.
Yes, agreed 100%. That will be, even if it's not terribly consequential and Mississippi State ends up having a not so great season, that's still a solid win. You got to get it. Myself and Zach Reagan will be on the Big Orange podcast on Monday. If you want to hear our full preview and prediction, we'll go more into it, the actual nuts and bolts of Mississippi State there. So tune in on this very YouTube channel, A to Z Sports Tennessee Volunteers YouTube. Check that out. But Crompton, I think that's a show. Anything else on the way out the door for the folks at home?
No, I think we're good. I think we covered everything. Talked about what we needed to. I love the questions about the defense. I think everybody's kind of engaged and locked in with where we're going in the season. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Watch some football, enjoy it, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Charlie Burris, former Vols quarterback, Jonathan Crompton. Thank you to everybody who tuned in, who commented, who always hangs out with us. We could not do this without you.
Nope.
That is it. And we will talk to y'all next week.